Niseko, we had lots of snow as well, especially this week. I think that was in Monday, and we had lots of snow. Yeah, so yeah, that's really crazy and dangerous. But as you know, Niseko it's a most snowing place in the world. So yeah, we had like snow for half of a year almost late. So I'm quite used to it. So my name is May, and I'm the coordinator of international relationship in Niseko Town Hall, and I'm from China. So yeah, and I have been working in Niseko for almost 5 years, but actually I have been in Japan for almost 7 years. So before I came to Niseko, I worked at Kyoto for 1 year and also studied like 2 years in Tottori province. Yeah. So I started Japanese when I was in the college, but in that time I was in China. So I studied at a Chinese university. My major was Japanese, and then after the first time I have been in Japan when I was the second year grade. That was the first time I have been in Japan, so that was a really great memory for me. And then I decided to come to Japan again and for my master degree. So that's why I studied at Tottori University for 2 years, and my research is about local society and economic. So yeah, and I did a lot of research about Tottori prefecture. Yeah, and after that, it was like really random. I know the CRR, because CRR is the job as us. You probably know this is a jazz program. Yeah, it's not only for Niseko-cho, it's for all over Japan, the whole country. So I know this job from a person work at Tottori, and his job was also about international exchange and culture exchange, you know. Yeah, I feel like that's really interesting because after I have been in Japan for 2 or 3 years, I really want to do some jobs related to Japanese and Chinese, and I want to be the bridge between China and Japan. I want to show a lot of Japanese culture to my country. Also, I want to show more Japanese people about Chinese culture. So that was the first time I have like a really clearly dream. Before that, I don't know what I should do in the future. The reason I chose Japanese just because I feel like, I want to go abroad. I want to stay abroad, stay other countries, stay in other countries for a time. And then Japanese might be easiest for me as a Chinese person. We all have a kanji culture. So I feel like, Japan seems much easier for me to go compared with America or Europe, you know. Yeah, so that's why I chose Japanese. Yeah, and then I came here for exchange program, and then and I stayed here for this long. Yeah, so I feel like the first time I feel my dream is just to do something, contribute in Japan and China's like relationship. Yeah. And then the first job I got was is related to tourism and hospitality. So I work in Kyoto, and my job was related so my job was related property management and hotel management. So the main job I did was the front service in the hotel. And of course, Kyoto is really popular. So I had a lot of chance talk with people from different countries. Yeah, and after the first year, I finally got a chance to get the interview of jazz program. I dreamed this for a while, but when I graduated, I didn't get the chance of the interview because the jazz program, the interview have to be your country, not in Japan. But at that moment, I was in Japan, so I couldn't go back home and to get the interview. So but the second year, I tried one more time, and that's why I got this job. And so that was 2018. So after that, I have been here for 4 years. Have a Japanese teacher we have a few Japanese teacher in my university. Also, we have exchange students, Japanese students as well. Yeah. Before I came to Japan, I learned so in the university. So I started learning Japanese from the university. So basically, when I was the first grade, I was 0 level, but after the second year, I basically got N2, the Japanese test. Yeah, I got N2, and then after I studied a few months in Japan, I got N1. So yeah, so I studied 3 years Japanese. I got N1. Yeah, and I was like, Mama, 以后 yeah, well, yeah, it's like it's I think I was not bad in my class in my university. Yeah. It was really helpful because so when I was in Totori, actually our Japanese class is really limited. It's just like maybe twice a week. Yeah, and but when you when you went to the university, everyone talk with you in Japanese. You have to use Japanese all the time. I feel that improved my Japanese a lot, not only in the class but also in the normal daily life. Yeah, exactly. That's really helpful for my speaking Japanese and listening Japanese. I feel like the first time I have been here, that was like a few months. So that time I was really excited. I was happy to live in Japan and challenge different things every day. But I know like some of my friends got really homesick, all the time. And after I have been in Japan in like 5 years, and came to Niseko, especially now we have the pandemic in the world. I really miss my family. I haven't been to China for almost 4 years, like over 3 years. So I feel like I got really homesick here. But in the university, they have some supporters. To foreigner, they can help you practice your interview sometime. Yeah, they have that too. But basically what I use just might not be, it could not be, as all the Japanese people use. Yeah. I was worrying about my Japanese because it's so when I use rikunabi and mainabi, it's basically you apply a job as the same standard as Japanese people, and so all the people your competition, like in the interview, are Japanese people. So it's really stressful when you know your Japanese can never beat native Japanese speaker. So like people judge you as you had like perfect Japanese, but you didn't because you're not a native person. I thought that was really stressful. So after that I realized maybe I should just like after this job, maybe it's like something like I was thinking maybe in the future I should find a job like just judge me as a foreigner, not a Japanese person, like a different standard. It was really helpful. I was really appreciated because I read my resume and read my job, my career things, like introduce myself. I can't completely do it as native Japanese. I will have like some mistake of the grammar or something, and the supporter, the career supporter will help you to change all the things and also practice the interview with you. And that was really helpful because practice make perfect. So even though I wasn't a Japanese person, my Japanese wasn't good, but I do get much better by more practice. I had a little bit, but still need to keep studying, I think. It's a difficult question. I feel like in Japan, So for example, when you do the interview in Japan as the undergraduate student, you have to wear black suits.
Yeah.
Everyone have to wear that, and you have bring a black bag. You have to, yeah, it's like you have to wear something everyone wear, but that didn't happen in my country or even like America or other countries like Canada or Deutsch, Germany here. So I feel Japanese have a really strong really strong feeling about have everyone look the same, like really similar. Yeah, and that make me or I think make people kind of worried about if they behavior a little bit different. Yeah, so even at the workplace, as the only foreign people, when I was working at Kyoto, I was worried about if I do something different. It doesn't mean it's wrong or correct. It just if you do something different, people might think you are strange or like something like that. I feel like that was a little bit stressful, but generally everyone is really nice. I feel Japanese people, they are really polite and nice. So yeah, it have the good points and bad points as well. Yeah. Now, like I work at the town hall, and we don't wear suits. But I think the men they are more a little bit strict. They have to wear shirts and suits sometimes. And for women, is they're not really strict, but it's not really common to wear something really bright, like you wear something really red or yellow. That's kind of strange. You probably wear something like really pale color, like Jimmy Nafuku. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and you can see no one teach you this, no one tell you this, but they had the rules in the working environment, so you have to be able to read it. I feel like your question is always so good. You always ask a really important part. Yeah, so for me, yeah, as you said, seems like I have more choices and options. So I was also kind of a little bit it bothered me because I don't know which way is better for me, or like which, yeah, you have too many options. It's difficult to choose which one is best for you. But I think the most important thing too is to use what I'm really good at. Compare with what I'm really interested in. Is more like use my skills. I hope like the next job can help me to improve my skills, and also use my, for example, my English skills, my Chinese skills, or my Japanese skills, the translation skills. So that's most important thing. Of course, if you can do something you're really interested in and you're also really good, that's really lucky. But most of people, I don't think everyone can just, okay, I really like this and I'm also really good at this. That's really difficult. So for me, I would choose I'm good at, because I have more confidence to make it better. Yeah. When I was at my 20, my dream, it's really I think when I was at a university, what I want to do is to go adventure in the overseas, go to different countries to traveling, yeah, something like that. Yeah, but that's a lot of people want that, but it's not reality. It's naive. And after I studied learning Japanese, I really hope I can become a Japanese teacher in China. Yeah. But after I came to Japan, I realized I really like here, so that's why I decided to stay here. And I used to teach Chinese here in Tottori, and also now as well. If you see the homepage, you probably see like the events. We have a lot of Chinese events like learning Chinese. So I feel like my dream is for international relations, do something contribute in international relations or international education. Yeah, it never won't change. I feel like that's something I still want to do. Like my job here is basically if we don't have COVID, I mean, like we have a lot of culture exchange. We will have a lot of like customers from China. Yeah, and even now they have a lot of people live here, so I help them for all the translation and interpretation parts. So I feel like that's something I should keep doing it in my whole life, even if as a volunteer. I feel like the world and the environment around you change a lot every day. It's really, really difficult to keep one thing. You keep it forever, never change in this environment, like it's really, really difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to say you should do this or not, because I think everyone have a different situation. But for me, like this is just what I think about. Okay, yeah. So if you really, really love something, you believe you want to do that thing, you want to spend time, you want to spend a lot of things on this thing, and I feel like you should keep that point whenever you want. For example, you want to do some job related to international management, and you really like that job, and even now it's really difficult to go abroad, and the international business is also not really good at the moment. But this is just temporary. It's just temporary. It won't keep doing this forever. You will get a chance to change the thing. So I feel like in that case, you should like keep doing it. You should keep this point. But if you, for example, when you were young, you were really interested in something like maybe become a doctor, for example, but then you realize you don't really like that, or the job as a doctor is not that interesting for you anymore. I feel like it's good to change it. Or it's follow your heart. I feel like because no one knows what you try to keep doing is correct or not. So you are the only person can decide it if it worth to keep or not. I mean, when I say I want to improve the relationship between China and Japan, that sounds a really, really big dream, isn't it? That sounds really, really big. That's the relationship between two countries. How I'm a like really normal person can change that. I can't. But when I see that, I feel like I want to do something what I can. For example, I have like a similar as YouTube channel based in China, so we use a different application. So it's not YouTube, but in China it's popular. And I will introduce my life here in that channel and share some, for example, how to get a car license, how to get a car license, and how to change your visa, like some knowledge in that, so people can know what they can do about this kind of stuff. It's know Japan more, and also help them live in Japan convenient. So I also try to, like here I teach Japanese people Chinese, so they can understand like Chinese drama more. If they like Chinese drama, Chinese TV shows, and they also want to travel in China in the future. So I try to help them teach the language as a tool, so they can know China in the future. So I feel like the motivation for myself is like, when I started doing this, I actually helping people to achieve their dreams. I helping people to achieve their dreams. I support people to achieve their dreams. So I think the motivation is from helping other people. So you feel like you did something not only for yourself, it's also for others, and it's not only influence your own life, it's also have an effect for other lives, for other people's life. So I feel that feels really meaningful. And also, like here I work at Inteview, here have lots of Chinese residents, so they can speak Japanese well. So I teach them Japanese at some time as well, just because they live here. I try to help them to know more Japanese culture and Japanese society, and making more Japanese friends. This kind of thing is nothing change the relationship between China and Japan, but you do change the individual life, everyone's different life, 一人一人の生活に have a little bit, but yeah, that feels like I did something not only for myself, also for other people. We talk just now. We talk about like how I learned Japanese, but I never say how I learned English. But I started learning English after I got this job. So I just started learn English like 4 years ago. But now I can at least talking with you in English, and I feel the biggest thing is practice a lot, like never shy to talk with the people. Of course, you will get negative, disappointed about why yourself couldn't become the level you want, or you still can't speak English well. I have the same problem as well. I feel the first thing is you have to keep doing something. Never give up, because a lot of people got successful not because they are smart or not because they're lucky, because they try to keep doing this longer than other people. And most people can't do it just because they can't continue doing it. So the first thing, no matter what happened, no matter you got how disappointed about your language skill, the first thing is like you have to have a really strong heart, keep doing it. And at some point, it's going to be changed. It's not always going to be the same time all the time. But if you feel like you already tried really hard, you tried your best, but nothing changed, everything was still disgusting, I think you should think about the method you use, the way you study, the way you're doing this, if that's correct or not. Try to keep doing something, but try to be smart all the time, not waste time, or like you feel like, oh, I'm learning TOEIC all the time, but I can't speak. I feel like, in that way you should change the way you study or learning. And the only way to get thinking positive is you have to see you're growing, you're getting better, and then you got the motivation to keep doing it. Keep doing something every day and never give up. That's very, very important. I was young as well. Even now, I also can't do a lot of stuff. Like, also got disappointed about myself as well. But I realized the most people achieve their dreams or just do something successful just because they keep doing it. And it seems simple, but it's really difficult. When I was at the college, I said my Japanese wasn't bad, just because I tried really hard to learn. I'm not a smart person, but I do make more efforts than other people. That's why my Japanese was pretty okay in my class, in my major, like people there. Because the reason I try really hard to do this thing, because I want to go to Japan and go to see other country. If I stay in my hometown, I will have a really relaxing life, just finding a job there, and life won't change that much. I know what happened tomorrow. I know what happened in 10 years. I know everything is in my plan. I can plan in everything because I already see it. But I choose to came to abroad and came to Japan and even came to Niseko. And now I'll be able to see many people from different countries. Then I realized, I feel stressful. I feel lost sometimes. I don't know what I should do in the future. I don't know if I should go back to China or stay in Japan or even go different countries. I have a lot of nayami. I have a lot of things I need to worry about. But the reason you have this thing because you know more things, because you had more knowledge, you had more choices, and your world become bigger. So that's why you have more questions and more things you don't know, because you have more things you can't control. I feel like for me, of course, different people have different choices. For me, I'm really happy. I had a really various life for myself. If I didn't come to Japan, I never say, oh, in Hokkaido they have so many snow here, but so much snow here, and I think my world get bigger and get much more interesting. Even I got more problem, I got a lot more challenge, but I'm so happy I experienced more things. I feel like when I was in China, I feel like my parents, I'm the only child in my home, so my parents really care about me and also really worry about me. So they try to tell me what is correct. So if this is not correct, don't go to this way. But they say that because they depends on their experience, right? But you can't copy other people's experience. So So actually I got a lot of like time, like people just tell me, like people in my family or people around me just tell me, oh, that definitely couldn't happen. It not working that way. You can't do that or something like that. Yeah, and I also was really that bothered me a lot. Yeah, but it's difficult to do it. But the only way I think to deal with this thing is just trust yourself. And you need a stronger heart. But no one can have a stronger heart at the beginning. You probably need to experience a lot of things and you think a lot of things by yourself, and then you become stronger, you become better. So you have to trust yourself. But to trust yourself is not like, oh, I don't know what happening, but I just trust myself. It's not like that. You need to research, you need to get more information and try to prove what you think is okay, it's reasonable, it's available for you, and then you trust yourself. Yeah, I think that's really important. One thing is trust yourself. Another thing is like, I don't know if you realize, I feel like Japanese people, also like myself and a lot of Chinese people, they care about more how people think about myself, how people around me think about me more than Western people. I feel like the reason Western people are really confident because they really trust themselves. They don't really care about how other people think about them. They care more about how they themselves feel. So I feel like, especially Japanese people, I feel they really care about how other people, the people around yourself, how look at you, and even at work. Just now I said like everyone wants to try to keep the same thing, try to keep similar, because if you become different, you feel really stressful about how people look at you, how people talk about you, right? So I mean, to thinking about others is a good thing, but sometimes you shouldn't think too much about how other people think about you, because life is only one time. It's only important for you. And a lot of time, like how other people, I mean, parents might be different. Yeah, but for example, your friends, your colleague, like people work with you, how they think about you, that's not important for your whole life. It might be important at that moment, what do you think about, but that's not important at all for your whole life. So you should focus on yourself and also believe yourself. The first thing I did is to try to think about what's my what's my sorry, I forgot how to say that. 強み? Yeah. Yes. What's my what I'm good at. And I think for myself, like since I try to find jobs in Japan, so I think what I'm different from other people is first I can speak Chinese really well, and I also can speak Japanese really well. So that's the first thing I think about. I might be different from a lot of people. And then I try to think about my experience and what I got from my experience. For example, I was living in China for 20 years and then come to Japan, studied like a local society and economic. So during my research, I went to a lot of companies and did like a questionnaire with them, and so I think I was able to communicate with many Japanese people. So I think my communication skills is one kind of like my good point. Now I could say, okay, my English is also okay. I can communicate with people. So I think that's really important. So I think try to make yourself different is try to use your experience to appeal yourself, because if you say, oh, I studied international management, a lot of people study the same major. But if you say, oh, I'm good at English, a lot of people might be good at English as well. But the experience is different from different people. So you can use your experience to appeal yourself and to say, oh, I for example, I did this kind of thing. That's why I become good at this field. I feel that would be more impressive. You can talk about in the university, what kind of club did you join, or you organized some event, or you want to travel abroad by yourself. Everything can be special because you have your own experience. I feel like it have many experience and different things affect me, and the most thing affect me now is I think it is a job, the current job I'm doing in Niseko Town Hall, because have you been in Niseko like this? I was so surprised because the first time I got to Niseko, like this area, of course included like Kuchang, like those big area, there are lots of foreign people live here, and so you can say a lot of people speak English here. So now even just the residents, not included the tourists, there are people from 35 countries. So I was able to meet a lot of people from different countries. So before I only met people in China and Japan, so that's really limited. But now I was able to meet people from American, Malaysia, or Indonesia, or and even Europe, a lot of different countries. So that make me feel the multicultural is really important in the society, and that affect my experience a lot, because when talk about my career, I can talk about, I have worked with people from different countries, so I have the skills and to understand different culture, and also I can communicate with people from different culture, and that is a really important thing in the global society, global economic. So a lot of companies, if they have some overseas business, they really want someone not only understand the language but also understand the different culture. So I think that's really important for me, for my career. Before COVID so I came here in 2018, so that was when the world still normal. So and you can see a lot of different people here, and everyone's really active. So I had a really good experience here. I know in the past 3 years, almost 3 years, it had been really difficult to traveling to study abroad, and a lot of people waiting for a long time, and they even don't know when they can start study abroad or work overseas. That's really difficult. But I want to see. I think there are more things to learn in different places, especially over the country, overseas, as you said, in different countries. So I think people, everyone should, if you have a dream, if you are really interested in living abroad and working at different countries or do our exchange study at different countries, that might be difficult at this moment, but maybe you can do something else now. But in the future, I hope everyone still try to do it when the country is open, when the pandemic is gone. I hope everyone can still try to go abroad to say different things. I think that will change a lot of your life, a change of how you think. That's really impressive for me. So hope everyone can still have an open mind to learn more things abroad, to discover different places in the different countries.